I've actually wanted to be a lawyer since I was about 5 years old. I proclaimed over dinner one night to my parents that when I grew up, I was going to go to an Ivy League law school and become a trial attorney. 20 years later, I did just that. People often ask me how I knew at such a young age that I wanted to be an attorney. And believe it or not, I was actually a fairly quiet kid. I would often find myself sitting in the back of the classroom trying not to draw attention to myself, but the one time I couldn't do that was when I saw someone getting bullied. So however uncomfortable it was for me, and it was often very uncomfortable for me, I always felt like I had to say something. And when I did, what I learned was I actually was better with words than most kids, and I was able to diffuse the situation, and often without making enemies. So fast forward a couple of decades, I was given the opportunity to first chair my very first trial. I was hired a mere 3 months before the hearing, and my client told me the case was unwinnable. He said he hadn't gotten the evidence that he had hoped for, and he just didn't see any path to victory in this particular case. So I took the case and I immersed myself in it, thinking about it day and night. I kept a legal pad by my bed and often woke up in the middle of the night with ideas about the case. And then suddenly an idea came to me. I changed the entire theme of the case, I changed the narrative, and we ended up winning $860,000. It was incredibly rewarding. It was very thrilling, especially for my first case that I ever tried. And that's when I knew that my gut instinct as a 5-year-old had indeed been correct and that this is what I was meant to do. Shortly after that case, I founded this practice. And recently, my journey has taken me one step further. I just finished my first semester as an adjunct professor at Loyola Law School, where I taught a class on how to represent entrepreneurs. It was my goal to teach those students that there's more than one way to practice law so that they would be equipped upon graduation to practice law in a rapidly changing marketplace. Because at the end of the day, I believe lawyers can find more meaning and more success in this practice if we embrace the original directive of our profession, which is to put our clients' needs before our own.